Chapter 41. We continue here the story of the picture. 9 years after the occurrence of the incident depicted in the last chapter, Ali Muhammad saw Hemadpant and related to him the following story. One day while wandering in the streets of Bombay, he bought the picture from a street hawker, and he framed and set it on a wall in his house at Bandra, a suburb of Bombay. As he loved Baba, he daily took darshana of it. 3 months before he gave the picture to Hemadpant, he was suffering from an abscess or swelling on his leg, for which an operation was performed, and he was convalescing in the house of his brother-in-law, a Mr. Nur Muhammad Pureboy, in Bombay. For 3 months, his house in Bandra was closed, and nobody was living there. Only the pictures of the famous Abdul Rahman, Mullah Sahib Hussain, Baba Sai, and other saints were there. The wheel of time did not even spare these. He was lying sick and suffering in Bombay. Why should the pictures suffer there in Bandra? It seems that they have also their ins and outs, the birth and death. All the pictures met their fate. But how Sai Baba's picture escaped it, nobody had been able to explain to me up till now. It shows the all-pervasiveness, omnipresence of Sai and his inscrutable power. He got a small picture of the Saint Baba Abdul Rahman from Muhammad Hussain many years ago. He gave it to his brother-in-law, Nur Muhammad Pureboy, and it was lying on his table for 8 years. Once the latter saw it, took it to a photographer and got it enlarged to life-size, and distributed copies of the same amongst his relations and friends, including Ali Muhammad, who fixed it up in his Bandra house. Nur Muhammad was a disciple of the Saint Abdul Rahman, and when he went to present the picture to his guru in an open darbar held by him, the guru got wild and ran to beat him and drove him out. He felt very sorry and dejected. He thought that he lost so much of his money and incurred his guru's displeasure and anger. As his guru did not like image worship, he took the enlarged picture with him to the Apollo Bunder, and after hiring a boat, went in it and drowned it in the sea. He requested the friends and relations in return to return their copies, and after getting them, all 6 copies and photos, had them thrown by a fisherman in the Bandra Sea. At this time, Ali Muhammad was in his brother-in-law's house. He was told by him that his suffering would come to an end if he would soon drown the pictures of the saints in this sea. Hearing this, Ali Muhammad sent his manager to his Bandra house and got all the pictures of the saints in his house thrown into the sea. When Ali Muhammad returned home after 2 months, he was surprised to find Baba's picture still on the wall as before. He did not understand how his manager took away all the other pictures except this. So he immediately took it out and kept it in his cupboard, fearing that if his brother-in-law saw it, he would do away with it. While he was thinking how it should be disposed of and who would keep it and guard it well, Sai Baba himself, as it were, suggested to him that he should see and consult Maulana Ishmu Juvar and abide by his opinion. So he saw the Maulana and told him everything. After mature consideration, they both decided that the picture should be presented to Ana Sahib, that is, Hemadpant, and that he would protect it well. Then they both went to Hemadpant and presented the picture in the nick of time. This story shows how Baba knew all the past, present, and future, and how skillfully Baba pulled the wires and fulfilled the desires of his devotees. The following story shows that Baba liked very much those persons who took real interest in spiritual matters, and that Baba removed all their difficulties and made them happy. Stealing the rags and reading the Yaneshwari. Mr. Dale was a Mamlatar of Dahanu Thana district, as mentioned, and wished for a long time to read the Yaneshwari, a well-known Marathi commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, along with other scriptures. He could read daily one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and some portions of other books, but when he took Yaneshwari's book in hand, some difficulties cropped up and he was precluded from reading it. He took 3 months' leave, went to Shirdi, and thence to his home for rest. He could read there other books, but when he opened Yaneshwari, some evil or stray thoughts came crowding in his mind and stopped him in the effort. Trying however he might, he was not able to read even a few lines of the book with ease. So he resolved in his mind that when Baba would create love for the book and would order him to read it, he would begin, but not until then. Then in the month of February 1914, he went with his family to Shirdi. There Jog asked him whether he daily read the Yaneshwari. Dale said that he was desirous of reading it, but he was not successful, and that only when Baba would order him to read it, he would commence. Jog then advised him to take a copy of the book and present it to Baba, and to start the reading after it was consecrated and returned by Baba. Dale then replied that he did not want to resort to this device, as Baba knows his heart. Would Baba not know his desire and satisfy it by giving him a clear order to read? Dale then saw Baba and offered 1 rupee as dakshina. Baba asked for 20 rupees more, which he gave. At night he saw one Balakram and inquired how he secured Baba's devotion and grace. Balakram told him that he would communicate everything the next day after the ceremony. When Dale went for darshana the next day, Baba asked for an additional 20 rupees, which he gave willingly. As the masjid was crowded, Dale went aside and sat in a corner. Baba asked him to come close and sit with a calm mind, which Deo did. Then after the noon ceremony was over and after the men dispersed, Deo saw again Balakram and asked him his previous history, what Baba told him and how he was taught meditation. Balakram was going to reply when Baba sent one Chandru, a leper devotee, to call Deo to him. When Deo went to Baba, Baba asked him when and with whom and what he was talking. He said that he talked with Balakram and heard from him Baba's fame. Then Baba asked for 25 rupees as dakshina, which Deo gladly gave. Then Baba took him inside and, sitting near the post, said to him, "You have stolen away my rags without my knowledge." Deo denied all knowledge of the rags, but Baba asked him to make a search. He searched but found none. Then Baba got angry and said, "Is nobody here? You are the only thief, so gray-haired and old. You came here for stealing." After this, Baba lost his temper and got terribly wild, gave all sorts of abuses and scoldings. But Deo remained silent and watching, and thought that he might get a beating also. After about an hour or so, Baba asked him to go to the Wada. He returned to the Wada and told Jog and Balakram all that had happened. Then in the afternoon, Baba sent for all and Deo also, and said that Baba's words might have pained the old man, Deo, but as he committed the theft, Baba could not but speak out. Then Baba asked again for 12 more rupees and collected payment from Deo, who prostrated himself before Baba. Then Baba said to him, "Go on daily reading the Yaneshwari. Go and sit in the wada. Read something regularly every day, and while reading, explain the portion you have read to all with love and devotion. I am sitting here, read to give you the whole gold-embroidered valuable cloth. Then why go to others to steal rags, and why should you get into the habit of stealing?" Deo was much pleased to hear the words of Baba, for Baba asked him to start reading the Yaneshwari. He thought that he got what he wanted, and that he could read the book with ease thenceforth. He again prostrated himself before Baba and said that he surrendered himself to Baba and that he should be treated as a child and be helped in his reading. He then realized what Baba meant by stealing the rags. What he asked Balakram constituted the rags, and Baba did not like his behavior in this respect. As Baba was ready to answer any question, Baba did not like him to ask others and make unnecessary inquiries, and therefore he harassed and scolded him. But Deo thought that Baba really did not harass and scold him, but taught that Baba was ready to fulfill his desires, and there was no use asking others in vain. Deo took these scoldings as flowers and blessings, and went home satisfied and contented. The matter did not end here. Baba did not stop with only issuing an order to read. Within a year, Baba went to Deo and inquired about his progress. And on the 2nd April 1914, on a Thursday morning, Baba gave him a dream vision. In the dream, he sat on the upper floor and asked him whether he understood a scripture. Baba said, "When are you going to understand?" Deo burst into tears and said, "You shower your grace. The reading is mere worry, and the understanding is still more difficult. I say this definitely." And Baba said, "Reading you make haste, read it before me, in my presence." And Deo said, "Shall I read?" And Baba said, "Spiritualism." Deo went to bring the book, and when he opened his eyes and was awakened, we leave the listeners to imagine what ineffable joy and bliss Deo felt after this vision. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all.